Greetings and salutations to all you out there on the interwebs. Welcome to the May Heraldic Decision Meeting for the Kingdom of Meridies. I am your host, Carlos Blanco El Barbero. I am the Pen and Herald, and with me tonight is a gaggle of cohorts in crime for heraldry to get things done. Why don't we start off with Master Alexander?
I'm Alexander Ravenscroft, Stentor Herald. I'm Field and Court Herald. I just keep showing up to these things.
Ulrich?
I am Ulrich Eisenhand. I am Cipher Herald, which is internal submissions for Kingdom of Meridies.
Lucian?
I'm Lucien D'Artois. I'm the Deputy Lambent Herald responsible for commentary, and I'm also the local herald for the Barony of South Downs.
Bronwyn, you got sound? We're not hearing you. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Taryn.
I'm Taryn the Waywards, Lantern Herald, which is the education deputy here in Meridies.
And the Honorable Lord Jacques.
Good evening. I'm Jacques. I am the local herald for the Shire of Phoenix Glen.
Brown, give us a quick test to see if you got sound now. No, not hearing you. So for right now, let's go ahead and start the letter. We're going to start with number 1, Annabelle Crookshank. This is a new name and new device. Let's start off with the names. We have the given name coming to us from a list of feminine personal names found in Scottish records, and the surname coming from Surnames of Scotland, which is a no photocopy list. Blue Talbot said that the docs do check out. Yeah, we're still not hearing you, Rowan. And I don't see where we have any problem with the name. We don't have Oscar coming up with anything that could come close for us to look at either. So we'll go ahead and move on to the device, which is Persitel, Argent, and Prepare, 3 Dragons, Sagent, Sergeant, Quaternary Sable. We had a couple of close calls, but we do have an artist note, and I do agree with the artist note here. Is that the 3 dragons are not centered on the field. They should scooch over a little bit, and they're worried about the per. But I'm looking at the Oscar color correction, and I'm seeing more purple there than I am seeing azure there. Do y'all agree?
Yes, well, Oscar's color correction. I mean, that's basically our blue test, and it shows up as purple to me.
Yeah, and yeah, there are some splotches of blue, but it's mostly purple.
Yeah, and
all I know is I colored it at Herald's Point, and I used a purple marker.
Yeah, it's just the funny thing. Okay, our standard is to Crayola colored markers, but
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Greetings.
Okay. I'm sorry, I had to unplug my earphones and plug them back in. What's going on?
Yes. It recognized one end, but not the other. But yeah, this, even though our standard is and always will be the Crayola colored marker, but for some reason with their purple, it does vary. I've seen it come very dark. I've seen them come very, very light. It's like for some reason they don't really concentrate too much on keeping the purple a correct pigment.
Well, I think that part of it might be, the storage at Gulf Wars, because they're staying in that not climate controlled storage, crate.
That could be a possibility.
Once they age it all and they start turning blue.
Really, they change colors. That's one of the reasons that they insist on the Crayola Classics, because they're less likely to do it than some of the others.
But purple is the one that does.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does color.
If it's gonna color change and go bad, it's gonna be the purple. I know one year I used a purple thin one, and it almost came out black.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the couple examples that we have that looked like they came close, we were able to find 2 DCs for. So besides adding the artist notes about the dragons being scooted over a little bit, I don't see any reason why this should go up.
Yeah, it's not really. Doesn't look like it's a major issue, but yeah, it's something. Comment. Artist noted at best.
So let's move on to number 2. Annalisa Wolf. New name and new device. Both of her names are coming from Family Search. Both are from the C batch, which is acceptable, and both are 2 years apart. So definitely within year closeness.
They're from the same batch number, from the same batch itself.
Yes.
They are.
I don't think you get much closer for here's the documentation done.
Yeah, I would agree. All right. So that pretty well wraps up. But we do have. It looks like they're Oscar is saying May conflict was Emelina Silva, but
No.
I don't. Yeah,
Not even close.
no. So too many different syllables and whatnots.
It's 2 completely different names.
Correct.
All right, so let's move on to device, which is ghouls on a pill, fimbriated between 2 lions, combated a crescent, a crescent, a bezant, and a crescent pendant impale or. I want to go ahead and hit on the main point that was brought up, that these are not lions, that these are wolves.
Yes,
Submitter.
that was a mistake that I made putting it in.
Okay, so on the form,
it does say wolves on the form. That was a mistake on my part.
okay.
Yeah, and I talked to the submitter at our last business meeting, and that is what she wanted on her device was wolves. So,
Well, it kind of is it's a cant towards the name, so we need to kind of recognize that.
Yes. I had questioned about possible slot machines, but Senna allows for the crescent families to have 2 in the same charge field.
That is what that is. That's phases of the moon, and as far as I know, that is allowed. I had Taryn look that up for me at some point, and he found it, and I couldn't find it again, but he did find it.
Phases of the Moon used to be a step from period practice. It is no longer. They've actually found They've found enough period uses of it that we don't have a problem with it anymore.
Do we see that becoming like an actual charge name itself, or is it still going to be separated out?
It's still separated out because you can do it you can do that motif in, I can think of at least 3 different ways. I mean, if you do it on a pale, you can do
On a pale, on a fess, on a bend, or on a bend sinister.
Yeah, you can orient those things either way. You can have the horns towards the rondel or the horns away from the rondel. You've got to identify what we're doing with it.
Okay.
And if you do, I mean, on a pale, you're looking at a crescent and a crescent pendant. On a fess, you're looking at an increscent and a decrescent. So
that I would understand. Yeah, making it where it needs to be a separate charges.
It was pushed as a. I mean, this was at one point in time we pushed anything that had pagan imagery. We were really trying to discourage the heck out of it. And then we found enough of that in period documentation that were like things that neo-pagans are utilizing.
Right.
Period documentation in period charges that we said that it was a method being done in medieval times. Therefore, we're not going to hold it against people for that. It's taken on a new meaning that is not necessarily what originally was intended. We're not penalizing folks anymore.
Right. The only other question is there enough of some natural change between the black and white and between the color? I mean, they are still recognizably as the charges that they said that they are, but they definitely use different images.
It's interesting because normally the differences would be in the critters, but the critters are the same. It's the differences in the crescents. And I don't see there being an issue. I mean,
they're still.
We had a submission like this either last month or the month before, where the black and white and the color didn't match, and I think they had different
number of spots or something like that.
It was arrows.
It was arrows
because the field was semi of arrows,
and the black and white had like a lot more than the color version did.
Yeah.
And did they yell about it?
Not for what I've seen so far. Okay. Yeah, we went ahead and sent it up after a little bit. I think just like a couple minutes of discussion and everything. But I wanted because I'm looking at it and I could still tell that is a crescent and a crescent pendant. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same lines.
I think it may be just an artifact of coloring it in because the points being a little bit thin.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, those are wholly different.
No, they're different because
those are different shapes.
Body part is fatter on the color version.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right, Luciana.
So it looks like they just redrew.
But again, they're still identifiable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it had gotten into an unidentifiable position, then I think we'd have something to really argue about. But I don't think we have that here.
If I remember correctly, I had to request the line drawing because I only received a color copy in the mail, and so the line drawing came later.
That might be what we got going on here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That explains that.
For what it's worth, I like the line drawings version of crescents better than I like the color version.
Yeah, me too. Does it matter that the charges are not centered on the pale?
No, they're close enough.
Yeah.
Because like the top one's almost at the top, and there's a big gap at the bottom.
That's not even enough.
It's gonna be like an artist note or something, or they only
Probably not even an artist note on that one.
Somebody worried about the complexity count, but it looks like we are only at 8.
I'm counting 7.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
There's
7,
3 colors.
8. Well, I'm counting 3 colors. I'm counting wolves, crescents, a pale. If we count the fimbriation,
Nope.
Okay.
then we don't count that.
Yeah, either way, it's clear of like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not at 8 either way.
No, we're not.
So
Fimbriation doesn't count for it because it's not a charge group.
it's an accent. It's an accent of the charge,
Right.
basically.
Mhm.
Right. We don't count fimbriation and crescents. The crescent family, those are all a single charge type.
Okay, so we're talking 6.
Yeah. I'm
So
seeing 6.
So complexity is not an issue.
No.
All right. Then we will send both of these up. So moving on to number 3, Asa Colburn.
Colburn.
Colburn. I saw the accent there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, which way does that one go? It's only a name, and both names seem to come from Gary Bossy. So I don't see where we would have any problems. So
Looks good.
yep. So that one we'll send 3 up. Number 4, we have.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a nice Greek name.
Athanasius Lacedaemonius.
Athanasius Lacedaemonius.
Okay.
Lake Demon, is that what that is?
Of Sparta.
Probably.
It's Greek.
Wow. Yep. That
Jacques, is this our friend over down there? Because we have a
I'm looking into that. I think that might have been Thanos' new one.
right.
I'm checking right now. I just sent him a text message.
I'm kind of on the mind of Alexander's general complaint. It's not English. Send it back.
It's not close enough to English. Send it back.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It isn't even Welsh.
No, it's Greek. We know less about
Where is that?
I mean, at least it's not being registered in Greek letters.
True.
That's
They
true.
can't.
Only because they
They
can't.
can't.
It's all Greek to me.
It's. I don't think that there's going to be. I don't see a conflict in the name, largely because of the fact that who else would want it? Sorry.
That is a very hateful thing to say.
All right. Why don't we just say who else would think of it?
There you go.
That's a little bit.
Kamala Harris, probably.
Wow.
The only question I have that I just noticed is, did the Greeks use saints' names?
They might have later because Greece became an Orthodox country.
Okay. Is that it's common in Orthodox countries to use saint names?
Sorry, say this again.
Is it common in Orthodox countries to use saint names? I just know that in some cultures, like, it's a big no-no for normal names.
I think this is more of a case that he's using a saint name in order to prove that it was a Greek name.
Okay.
I'll be really honest. The with Ursula being a respondent on this, I wouldn't get. That would have come up if there was an issue.
All right.
Yeah, and she is recommending a different spelling, which he allows changes.
Basically, just removing the U from that last name.
Right.
Basically,
No,
yeah.
we're removing the O from the last name.
Yeah, the O.
Latinizing.
So I'll get a hold of the submitter just to double check on that name. It says, hey, we just got to remove one letter from your name. We just want to make sure that you're absolutely fine with it. We can do it,
I don't think
but we want to let you know.
I don't think it's going to affect the pronunciation any.
It's not going to affect the pronunciation, and I don't know that that is going to change the registrability of it.
Yeah.
If there,
No, it's just fixing a spelling mistake. Really.
Yeah.
I'm not positive that that's really an. Is it actually a spelling mistake?
Well, let's. I'm going to pull
According
up.
to Ursula, it's not.
According to Ursula, it is.
It's a spelling mistake.
Is this?
If we Latinize.
Can we?
Well, we have to Latinize it because we can't submit it in Greek letters.
Right.
There you go. So yeah, I would go with the Latin. Yeah, go with Ursula's. I would recommend using Ursula's spelling. But as long as they haven't checked the boxes of doom, we should be fine for that.
I'm looking at the form right now, and Jacques, it is Sanos.
Okay. He's okay. I've got him on the phone right now. He's okay with changes.
Okay. All right. Then we'll remove the O, and we'll go on from there.
Yeah, I would recommend using Ursula's spelling.
Yes.
Yeah, remove the O from both names.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's move on to the device.
Big props for this guy for finding such a simple device clear.
Yeah, which is Argent, a calamari sable.
Mm-hmm. I remember checking this one at Gulf Wars.
The default for a platypus is tentacles to base, and for calamari it's to chief. So it's definitely within the default posture.
Mm-hmm.
So
It sounded like you said platypus.
I thought he did it first, but I think he said polypus.
you know what? In my head, I might have meant platypus, but you know what? I'll watch this again later while I'm redoing up everything, and lo and behold, I'll probably find platypus. So I love y'all.
This is not a registered.
I love y'all.
registrable animal. It is pre-contact.
Wow.
So
It is.
So, but we have a good conflict check. It made the DCs, so we'll go ahead and send up that device. Same gentleman on number 5 has submitted a badge. But a question has come up.
That's a fearless badge, and you've got the elements not connected because of it's being mediated. And I'm kind of wondering if that's.
Well, yeah, I had the same question. I'm trying to remember.
We had one last month.
Was it last month?
On the device.
It was on a device.
I think. Let me go check.
But a device can't be fearless, so you don't have the same problem.
Right.
Here's the thing. The function of the all items must be conjoined. All charges must be touching. This is a single charge as a Death Talbot.
But like I actually made a comment on this one. When we have non-conjoined elements like a paw, it's a single item. This one missing the back half of the dog kind of makes it into two, because if you were tracking a wolf in the snow, you would be seeing paw prints that would be individual. But they're the same paw, just the same as an ermine spot has got things orbiting it naturally. Dogs do not naturally have orbiting tails.
Mine do.
I think
I mean, when they're in motion, they may look like they're orbiting, but
This is the tail is a piece that should be conjoined to the dog that isn't. In a paw print or an ermine spot, there are things that.
I'm putting up a link in the chat regarding a demi-lion. I'd like for folks to look at what that charge looks like.
That is a charge, but it's also not a badge. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a really easy solution to this, I think. And I think you could. I mean, if we're that worried, we could probably get a quick redraw to just draw a single black straight line between the two.
We don't. I've actually done demi beasts before. Even though this is fieldless, it's a single charge. I've done demi dogs previously, and this is my artwork. Just to own up, okay. This is my artwork. There's a reason I left it separate because of all depictions I have seen of demi beasts as charges. The tail is free floating. That would be why I did it that way.
And you're correct. When we do that, I mean, I think we need to advance this to read.
It's absolutely above our pay grade to kick it back for this artwork.
No, I think it's. Oh yeah, for the artwork, yes. I think for the charge itself, however, is not registerable and fieldless because, as I said in my comment there, it's an individual item. It's not, or it's. This makes it two different items. This makes it the front half of a dog and a tail, not a single ermine spot.
It's a demi beast. Which
yes, I know what you're saying.
And let the decision be made higher up.
Yeah, I think it. I think it has to be made.
Yeah, I just make a note that we were divided on.
Let me pull up another one that we did. We sent up on a. It was not fieldless, but it was done as a demi dog.
That would be Andreas von Wolfsburg, last month's.
Yeah,
again, that was on a device, though.
I've got one
that was on a device.
There's a
problem with this on a field. When there's a field attached, my issue on this is when we have things that should naturally be conjoined being unconjoined in a fieldless badge. For example, we could register Sable a semi of mullets 3 keys non-conjoined to a ring, or because there is a field tying everything together, we can't register a field. We can't register fieldless 3 keys non-conjoined to a ring, or because they're different items that are no longer touching. But if we conjoin them, Lucy's no longer in the sky with them.
That's a different analogy, though, Alexander.
Time out.
This is a dog.
Time out. One of the things that we are saying is that we keep saying that all of the items, it is all of the charges must touch one another. This is a single charge. A3, A2. Fieldless designs, we categorize these as badges. Devices must have a field. All of the charges in these designs must touch one another to create a single self-contained design. It is not so. This is charges must be touching. This is a single charge.
I'm using charge and item interchangeably in this context,
and they're not in this context. In this context,
because there's only one charge.
There's only one charge.
I think it has to be considered on a fieldless badge, but I think this does need to be decided by Reith, not us.
Yeah, no, it's to the point that I agree. We are divided enough in this that we say we need somebody else we need somebody else who's paid to do this to actually look at it. So we'll send it up with a with reserves.
Reservations?
It was reservations.
All right, guys. I have something that could be good here. This is a submission from 2015 in the East, and it is a demi-tiger on a fieldless badge.
And it's registered?
And it is registered, and it has a detached tail.
Okay, I'm looking at the link you sent, and it's not a badge.
Oh, did I?
You sent the wrong link.
I sent the wrong link. Okay, let me try that again.
No, the Kingdom of the East, the new badge, fieldless, a demi-tiger, rampant azure, and a separate tail.
That'll do it.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Ian.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm good for something sometimes.
Was there any comments or anything though on it? On the actual LOR.
I'm still trying to find it.
Actually, it specifically says commenters question whether this badge was registerable as fieldless given the tail was not attached to the body of the tiger. However, we allowed disjoint single charges such as ermine spots and crosses of Jerusalem to be registered as fieldless, so this is okay.
And when was this registered? This is
2013.
Okay, so it's recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will even
2015. Sorry.
And here I will note the comment from Arianwi in the East. Note the rule says charges. There is only one charge here, so there's no worry about all the charges touching each other.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to
we could just dissolve the Kingdom of the East. That will solve that problem.
Well, and Metronarist and Allison McCool identifies also when a demi-beast or demi-monster has a raised tail, as in lions, dragons, they appear just as here with a line of bisection cut across the middle of the charge, so the tail is technically separated by a small space from the body of the beast or the monster. That's the period depiction of them.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is when I send it up, I'm going to make a note of this submission and the comments that it received on the LOR. That way, if someone else tries to say anything, it's like, nope, we got proof right here.
Yep. And I will own up. Andreas was also my artwork. I tend to push when people are saying I want a dog or I want a dog's head. I tend to be pushing the demi beasts because there's not that many of them.
No, there's not.
And when I'm drawing a demi pup or a demi lion, I'm drawing with separate tails. So bear in mind, it is something we will see that while I am consulting, it is something that we will see in the future.
Something I suggest regularly down here also.
So be forewarned.
So let's move on to number 6. Katya Miloskaiva. There was a misspelling in the header name. That was a correction was made in the comments. Lucian.
Yes.
Why don't you talk to me about what you're saying here? Because I actually contacted Taryn. It's like, Taryn, I need your help.
I will. Let me clarify for everyone here. The documentation regarding the to ya transcription was the documentation we used for my wife to get KATJA from KATA. So
yes.
I think that I agree with reading what Lucian has written. The kata variant is the masculine variant. I think that what we need to do with this is push the documentation to reflect the masculine name rather than the feminine name. But the a to ya switch, I believe is still appropriate.
In fact, that transliteration with the JA is supported in the documentation that is provided. I have a link that I included, and that's one of the recognized transliteration systems for Russian that is approved by Sena.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not an issue. The only issue is with the spelling of the name with a C instead of a K.
Wow, I finally got my camera working.
Now, if it gets changed to a K, it should be okay with the submitter because she wants that sound, and it's going to.
She wants that C too. This is my seneschal. I know this. She wants the C too.
Well, if she wants the C2, then she's going to have to change the language from Russian to something else because she's not going to be able to register it with a C in Russian. The letter that is used for the word, the only possible transliteration into any of the transliteration systems is K. So...
There is a transliteration.
According to this, it says that the sound is the most important. Katya. She doesn't say that the initial letter is the most important.
Well, the problem that we've had in the past with the name was the J.
J.
And was the J. So we didn't think the C was going to be a problem.
Okay. Let me ask this one. If we have a documentation spelling of CATA as a variant spelling of the masculine KATA. The A to IA to JA, that should still be appropriate with the CA, right?
I would think so.
I don't think that's pronounced the same, though. That's not Katya. Because if you look at the transliteration systems,
It winds up being Katya.
what is being translated as C is not pronounced Katya.
I'm trying to pull out the transliteration full.
So how would that be pronounced?
The last link that I have,
Right.
the first of the two and the last one, I think, has got the...
It'd be Chacha, basically, what we're looking at, right?
Yes.
Chacha. And I think that's still within what she's looking at. It's the TS transliteration.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one is still within what she's after.
So then how would it be spelled?
So she's not looking for the pronunciation, she's looking for the spelling.
She's looking for the spelling.
Okay, the documentation should probably reflect that then, because if they get this up at,
when they're going to try and to shift things, she has wanted the spelling, not the sound.
Then we need to
correct?
change that on
we need to correct when we send this up, we need to change that to where the spelling is most important, not the
she wants the spelling of that with her version of the pronunciation, which is a modern pronunciation rather than what Paul is identifying here.
Right.
What Goldschmidt.
So if we say that the spelling is most important, worst case scenario, when they get it, they can do some stunt doc stuff and get it registered.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should I do in order to facilitate this?
Okay, you need to make sure the documentation that you are citing is the male documentation to get the CATA spelling.
Okay.
Then use the A to Ya, the A to IA to JA.
The bottom part there okay.
That portion is appropriate to keep. Okay.
Okay.
But when you document it, you need to make sure you're using the masculine alternate spelling of kata.
Okay.
Okay. And then you need to make sure that the if changes must be made, what is most important? It's the spelling CATJA.
Okay. And I'm going to talk with her.
Right.
And let her know that.
That's what she's been coming forward with this entire time has been, I want this spelling.
Yeah, because both you and me have been helping her with this for how long now?
Not nearly as long as I was looking for my wife's J.
Yeah.
Lucian, I agree with you. It needs to be done better. But I think that you're right.
It can be done. It just needs to be. We need the proper documentation.
Exactly. We have it. We didn't do it right the first time.
With better wording, saying that this is the masculine version of the name. We're making it feminine by adding the IA or JA in this case, and sending it up from there.
Yeah, and I think that the A to Ya shift is what we're looking for.
And at least Pelican will know what the rationale is.
Well, and the rationale that we've got came from Sophia LaRousse.
Okay.
That's why we're like, let's use this.
Yeah.
Or it was Sophia LaRousse. Sorry, not Sophia.
Okay. Thank y'all for that. Really, because yeah. So let's move on to her device. per chevron, Paulet, argent and gules, 2 lyres, sable, and an owl, close guardant, within a border, sable and argent.
That needs to be a boardwork counter change, sable and argent.
Yes,
Okay.
agreed.
And I believe that was actually because there. Yes, there is. Michael Gerard gave us a new blazon later on, and close guardant is default for owls, so that was taken out as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
just make it an owl.
We were trying to figure it out. We knew that there was a way that you could do that with the border, but we couldn't remember the words for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos and I were trying to figure that out. We're
The
just coming up
border,
blank.
the border is a little bit thin, but I don't think it's enough to be a problem.
Not
No,
really.
it'll probably just be an artist note, if anything.
Yeah.
Right. And it only really gets thin towards the base.
Yeah, the white part at the bottom there.
Yeah.
And I think that was some part on my fault because this was actually a redraw, because once I got what I'm using for doing devices digitally and everything, we went back and added the white in the lyres for detail work, and I couldn't get what I was getting using what she had to line up right. So that was a little because it was a redraw. But yeah. But I don't think anyone really. Lucian, you found no conflicts.
No.
Kaylin, are you seeing anything?
No, I'm not seeing anything particularly here. I mean, it's got enough pieces in it that it seems to be good.
Yeah, that was our rationale. Is especially with the border and having the border follow the line of division and everything, we figured that would be enough to where it would.
Well, you don't get a lot of. I don't think there are any primary charge groups with both a bird and 2 harps.
Right.
And so, I mean, that alone, you're basically getting an SC from most everything.
So, all right. So we will send up the device. Number 7, a new name. Dari?
Looks like it.
Simdar?
Smedor.
Smedor.
Both names coming from Gerbasi.
Mm-hmm. But Freed is saying that the door has a
thorn.
She's probably right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that would not be pronounced Smidor.
Be Smither, wouldn't it?
Smither.
Either, yeah. It's a soft TH.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to go get Gary Bossy.
It was SMIDOR on the form. This is one of the Gulf Wars submissions.
But if it came from Gerbasi on page 28, we need to make sure that's what was in Gerbasi on page 28.
Right. Yeah.
I've run into so many cases where the thorn has been translated to look like a D.
Yeah.
When it's not.
Does Smith come from
That's basically what that is.
The Germanic language or Norse language?
I don't know.
Origin Germanic.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
Smith is a Germanic word. Dutch has it as SMID, so it wouldn't be too crazy that it's. Yeah. Old English, it actually is SMI thorn.
Okay, page 28. SMI. Yes. Yes, there is. There is it's SMI, a thorn or. So
Oh,
yeah.
Thorn OR?
No, it's
Is it Thorn R?
it's backwards to me, so I don't know.
You're too fuzzy. I can't read
Yeah,
it.
it's not coming into focus.
No, there is no D.
But is there an O?
It's what Freed has.
Okay.
No O.
No O.
Yeah.
It's SMI Thorn R.
Right.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So I will.
That's way cooler than Smeedor anyway.
It really is.
Smeedor is a funny name.
Right. I wonder.
And Dari is DARRI.
Because the culture is the most important, so I don't think the change would.
No, and they marked no changes anyway. But
They marked
yeah,
no-
I wonder if it was more of trying to make sense of how the name was sound that was done down.
Someone might have mispronounced
No,
it. and-
they did not mark anything about changes.
Yeah.
They allow all changes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, go for it.
No evil
You said,
boxes.
you said they marked no changes, and that made us all really nervous for a minute.
no, what a bit. They did not mark
Okay.
no changes. So all right, so we'll do the little change. We'll do the little change to the thing, and let it go. Let it go from there. So number 8, we have a new badge from.
Dickon the Stoke.
Yes, we had when his name came through. I know we all had conversations about my pronunciations on things. So I'm glad you said it, Bronwyn, and not me this time.
So it's not Dickon?
Dickon the stock.
So the
I think I
badge is
found a
Sable.
conflict for this one.
What do
We
you
have
got?
I got Prospero the merchant, Sable, a man affrontee, a chief Rayani or.
Nope.
That's
Different, totally different primary charge.
that's a substantial change of different primary charge.
Oh, is that right? Right. Never mind.
Yeah, it's going from a man. It's going from a man to an animal.
Hmm.
Right.
So you change the primary charge, you do away with the conflict.
I don't see any other. When I originally conflict checked it, I forgot that an arched doesn't give you a difference from the regular. So I'm just rechecking it real quick, and I'm not seeing anything else.
I remembered that and went through it and didn't see any problems.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Never mind.
No, extra eyes is always good, right?
Yes.
Always.
Exactly.
You never know what somebody else will spot.
And that is why I am so grateful that all of y'all are here every month to help me out. Really. So, all right. So, being that no conflicts were found, we will go ahead and send number 8 up. Moving on to number 9, we have a new name change. The original name, Zara Bit Al Mu'alim.
Mu'alim, whatever.
And they're going to
keep it.
Elise in Engine.
Indian?
Daughter of Thomas, whatever.
Daughter, yeah.
Elise Indian Thomas.
Indian Thomas.
I'm clicking on the links to take a look.
She says no major changes, but Irish Gaelic culture most important. So let's see. All right. She got her first name from Wolf, and probably in the women's name. And I have been told that if you get that in the given names section of Wolf, they suggest alternate documentation.
Yeah, Wolf does Wolf give dates?
No.
No, and it doesn't, and especially not in the given name section. They're in the surname section and the by name section. They allow Wolf without backup documentation, and we used to do it in the given name section, but I seem to remember that they said no, we need to have something to back it up if we get it out of the given name section of Wolf. So let's see.
And I'm
Now it's Ellis. Ellis, I believe, is a documentable one.
I found
a different spelling.
a St. Gabriel report that says there is a modern Gaelic name spelled the same exact way, which is an adaptation of Elizabeth, but we have no evidence that it was used in period.
Yeah, that's the
So
problem.
as spelled, according to this St. Gabriel report, it's number 812.
That's pretty early for St. Gabriel.
Yeah, it really is.
That's the only thing that came up with that spelling of Elise.
Hold on. Let me try something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have something else around here that might be an alternate source.
Because Adelaide gave me her link for.
What about one of Mary's articles?
Okay. Marsolis. I used her web search thing, and it came up with no results for the given name.
Well, I know that EILIS has been registered before because of Ellis O'Born. Hold on a second here.
If we could also
ILS has been registered a few times without the terminal E.
Without the terminal E.
Most recently in 2009.
I don't.
Now, was the exclusion of Wolf from given names, was that set about in a precedence?
I do not know. That's what I mean, I've just been told several times when I did research on given names from Wolf that they suggested backup. Let me see. Yeah, we've had lots of Ellis's registered without the terminal E, just none with the terminal E.
Okay. I'm going to have to head out, folks.
Okay. Thank you, Taryn.
Let me see if I can find any articles, any of Mary's articles or anything.
Too late. He's gone.
Let's see. Medieval Names Archive. Let's see what we can do here. Irish.
Nothing from the annals, it looks like.
Let's see if we can find anything in O'Corin and McGuire. No, they don't even have Ellis in that one.
Well, if St. Gabriel said they couldn't find any known period examples, they probably checked all the usual sources.
I'm sure that they did, although if it was a really early St. Gabriel report, it may predate articles that have been printed since.
I
Carlos,
was referring to the books, though, not the.
Carlos, to answer your question, in the administrative handbook, it does say under Wolf on the no photocopy list, recommended for surnames only.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I needed. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was trying to find.
I knew it was somewhere.
I remembered having seen it before, and I had to find it. But.
Well, I during our tenures as Penn, we've seen Wolf pop up a couple times for given names, and we've had this conversation. It always ends up being long enough to where we've forgotten about the conversation until we have the conversation again.
Yes.
The only things I can find are the male name Ellis. I can't find any female names spelled that way.
Oh, I'm going through Mary's articles and Irish annals and everything, and I'm not finding it for female. Let's try.
Yeah, because I mean, with the accent, it's trying to turn it to Elise, correct?
I
That's what they're thinking.
I think that's pretty much what they're trying to do, and I'm just not sure that that's a Gaelic name.
I searched that one on Morsalis, just Elise, and it's coming up as English and Swedish.
Right.
But you can do an English Gaelic connection, correct?
I
But
don't
she
know.
does
I
it-
think so.
She's
Looking
focused most important.
You can do English and
Oh,
Irish,
yes.
but yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe that too, but if culture is a big sticking point,
Yeah.
it could be a problem.
Well, if you can find me, if we can find something, you know, I can go to the submitter and saying, hey, this is what we're finding.
We do a family. Have we done family name search yet? Anybody?
No, let me see if I can find anything on that one.
I forget what the website is. It's just family names.
FamilySearch.org.
It's FamilySearch.org. I'm looking at it now.
Oh,
Can we do a search?
anywhere. Let's see if we can find that.
Well, why don't we do this? Bronwyn, why don't you and Lucian continue searching there?
Yeah, I'm finding that spelling Eilise, but I'm finding it in the United States. Let me see. Let me narrow it down a little bit for years.
Yeah. Why don't we let you two continue to search on that right quick?
Okay.
We'll do one or two, and then we'll come back if you haven't spoken up yet.
Okay.
Because we this next one puts us at the halfway mark. So.
Woo, halfway.
Yeah. So we're looking at Francesca Di Rossi. New name and new device. She is using for the given name Italian Renaissance women's name, which is a SCA heraldry.sca file, and for the given name, it's for the surname found in Renaissance in Italian Art, Volume 3, and has a photocopy which shows the name connected to a man in 1510 to 1563. So definitely within period. Let's see now. Michael Girard found.
I am showing nothing on that spelling of that name anywhere from the 1300s to 1600s on Family Search.
So it's definitely something modern. So it's definitely something modern that has squeaked in.
Yeah, I'm seeing like variants, but not with that spelling, and none of them are Irish or Gaelic.
No.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll return this one.
We could probably squeak her by if she was willing to drop that E. And we could find the original documentation for Ellis that's been registered.
Right.
We can backtrack through the LOARs and find out what they used.
Yeah, because the most recent one I think was 2009.
Now, is that with the accent?
No, that's without the E. The one that
No,
the ones that were registered.
I know, but does it still have an accent over the I?
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up again.
Because I think was the accent. The accent is what's giving it a feminine sound. Otherwise,
there were feminine names that were registered because it was Elise, Ingen, whatever.
Okay.
Right.
In the O&A.
Right. I'm trying to do a copy.
All right. I'll go ahead and add that in as an option for me to contact.
None of the ones that are registered. Actually, one of them has the accent. The rest of them do not.
Not that I found. I checked with broad, case sensitive, and with the accent, it's coming up on the name search, pattern search. It's coming up with no matches.
Well, I'm looking at the registrations, and there's 2 that have the accent over the second I.
Wow. Well, it's not showing up on the search. That's interesting.
But no, I think you're searching Oscar, correct, Lucian?
Oh, I'm searching the O&A.
The O&A, yeah. So
yeah, I just did a broad case and sensitive name pattern match for EILIS.
That's what I just did, and it says no. I don't know what I did wrong because I cut and pasted with the accent.
Okay, so
Lucian, give me your link.
The one from 2009, I found it. They're using mundane name allowance.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Oh, they're using mundane name allowance. Yeah, I don't think that'll work here.
No, I don't think so either. And prior to that, 2000 looks like it was the most recent. Via Kaid, November of 2000. Let's see what I can find on that. Let's see. November 2000 Kaid. Okay. See, archive. Yeah, Oscar doesn't go back that far, so there's no way to go back and check on the documentation for it.
Yeah.
Not on Oscar anyway, 2005's earliest.
And the 2009 one was the mundane name allowance.
Yeah. I've got one more possibility here.
The other
I
option.
saved LOARs, so I may actually have the. What month was that? 2000.
Our other option is to have the submitter legally change her first name to Elise, and then she can use to get it name registered and then change it back.
This submitter's in my local group. She's actually our local herald, and I don't think that she would be up for that. For changing her mundane name.
Wouldn't be the
Well,
first
she wouldn't actually
one,
have to change it. All she would need to do is get like a fake driver's license or something.
Now we're going from bending the rules to breaking the rules.
We're going to breaking mundane law.
Okay, what was it?
We're not going to promote this.
What month was that was registered, Lucian? In 2000.
Which one? The
one in
2000
yeah.
was
June. There's one in June and one in November.
Yeah.
Okay, which one? Okay, because I'm fixing to look it up because
The one
I
in-
save.
Sorry,
The one in
just-
November was the one that you were looking at before. That was in Caid. That was the most recent one.
I was looking at a device on the next
November.
one down. My bad.
Yeah, that was 1998 that the name was registered.
Okay, well, I'm opening up the November LOAR from 2000. I've got it on my computer and see what I can find out. Okay. Oh, that's October. How did I get October?
Space Magic.
Okay. Well, while they do that, everyone else's attention. Let's.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Having a little bit trying to understand Michael Girard here. He says that Britain is 1908. But if he's found documentation of a person living in 1510, how is the documentation no longer good?
I'm not
He's saying the
sure.
original documentation
It's from a book from
From
1908.
a book from 1908, which would be kind of suspect. But he's found actual period
Okay, here's the
documents that
document.
have
Here's-
that name in them. So he's giving you better documentation.
The documentation that he found is from 1581.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actual period manuscripts that have that spelling
And I take it those things that look like double F's.
in it.
F's is actually S's.
Those are, yes.
Those are S's, yes.
Okay. I cut and pasted the text on the November 2000 registration of Ellis. And what it says is that the spelling of the given name was not documented. We've changed it to one listed in Wolf's Irish names and surnames. That was back when they accepted Wolf's given name with it. So that doesn't help us after all.
No. Okay.
So I'll have to get in touch with her and tell her she has to change the spelling if she wants that name.
I'm not sure what to do.
Because we might be able to fudge Ellis, but it's just the Elise, E-I-L-I.
Ellis is a male name. If she wants a feminine name, you can't use Ellis.
Like I said, I could find Elise, E-L-I-S-E,
Yes.
as English,
Correct.
which
Yeah, so she's okay
we're allowed to combine those.
Well, why don't you do this for me then, Cypher, if you have the time, since it's your herald. Go ahead. Could you contact her for me? Find out.
Yeah, I'll
find out if that's okay, and if so, just write up a quick documentation for that given name.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Certainly.
All right. All right. So go ahead and use. I wish he actually gave the link for where he got these got the sayings so he can make a better documentation.
Well, he's got the name of the book up there, and he said that he found it with Google Books.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to.
You can. Wolf is online.
But no, we're going back. We're going back to number 10 here.
Okay.
We're catching. We're catching.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's fine. Let's see now if I can paste.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I put some of the.
He didn't give page numbers, did he?
I think no, it doesn't look like he gave page numbers. But
Page 92.
page 92.
That's from the 1581 Venita Città Nobilinicia, El Segretore de Mascherita in 14, Libri, by Francesco Sansovino.
What page number did you say?
94.
92.
92.
I'm not. Yeah, page 92 doesn't look like what I'm seeing. Yep, wait a minute. Findings. Yeah, because page 92 didn't look like. That didn't give me what I wanted either. Oh well. I'm thinking I have the book because I went through in that first bit and everything. I entered it in, and I was able to find a link.
Well, if it's accurate, the Deo Rossi is definitely okay because it's right down there on example number 1.
Right. So, yeah, because he said by Franco, page 92, and I went to page 92, and it was not.
I think the actual book starts on page 92.
Which would make it page 1.
Because the first 91 pages are a different book.
I've got page numbers that are starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
Why don't you just email him and ask him?
wait, no, I found it. It's page 92 is the third. It's the third picture. So it's just a matter of finding those other two. So, but yeah, no, we have page 92 with an image and a ROF that has De Rossi. Okay.
Okay. Then that should do it.
That should, yeah. All right. So so we have good docs for both name and for for given and surname. Let's move on to the device, which is per, pale, vert, and argent, a violet, per, seated, or on a chief sable, 3 Byzants. Thank you, Ulrich. They're having a little toss about with the per, but it's a neutral field.
It is a neutral field, so you can have a purple charge on a green and white field.
You can.
Just like you can have a black charge on a green and white field, because the chief is also transecting the field.
I'm just wondering, it doesn't look seated exactly, but the interior detail is definitely or.
So the drawing looks just perfectly fine as purple to me, but the color recognizer on Oscar seems to think it's blue.
There is a lot.
This is another Gulf Wars item.
I mean, it looks like purple to me. I mean, it looks fine to me. I'm just curious why Oscar seems to think it's blue.
No, it looks purple in person too, but
yeah, I think
maybe we should use the redraw, even though we don't really need a redraw. It's already done, and it's purple.
And I would say just go ahead and use Fiora's redraw.
Yeah.
Now here's a question.
Because we're going to have to redraw it if the color correction is not showing it as purple.
Now here's a question. We did not change anything.
No.
So do I still need to contact the submitter about this redraw?
No.
No, because once it's registered, they can draw it the original way if they want to, or they can draw it this way. It's just
besides that, it's very, very similar.
Yeah,
the only thing she did change was she made the Byzants bigger.
Yeah,
well, and the violet as well.
And made the violet a uniform purple.
And it covers the whole
and made
shield instead of just most of it. It extends all the way down into the base.
Yeah, I think the higher ups will like this one better.
But it would be emblazoned the same way.
Yeah. Exactly, yes.
C-Stag is saying, though, I don't believe the redraw is needed at all. The chief fits very well with period examples, and the per does appear to be standard Crayola marker, which, while Oscar does have some issue with, is showing in the color correction as per in areas, which is all that is required for per.
That's not what's happening.
Well,
I would think better say.
Well, he's saying that the redraw isn't needed, but we already have a redraw. It's not like you're going to have to do one.
Yeah, might as well.
It makes sense not to use it.
But since we're not changing anything drastically,
Correct.
I do not need to.
Yeah, I would say this is a Gulf Wars submission anyway. I mean, it's not. I highly doubt that the submitter drew the artwork themselves and are severely invested in the exact size of each component.
Right.
I would highly suggest using the new ones, and there's no need to think anyone else about it.
Yeah, I would suggest using the redraw too.
And even if the submitter does like the original design better, there's nothing to stop them from using that original design once it's registered.
Yeah.
Because it's emblazoned exactly the same.
All right, so I'll look at using the redraw. I may just go ahead and contact the submitter just to make sure everything, just so they see it and they know what's going on at least.
Right.
So we'll move on to number 11, which is Godric Morris, new name. Godric comes from personal names in the Doomsday Book. And Morris is the submitter's mundane last name. Submitter provided a state issue photo ID as documentation.
We can use last names for that?
Yes.
You can use any part of your name.
Yeah, people don't generally do it. They usually use the mundane name allowance to justify given names, but you can use it the other way around.
And to be fair, I'm I'm fairly sure Morris is a perfectly good.
Period name anyway.
I think the issue they were running into is they couldn't find Morris early enough.
Okay.
Because it has to be within the time of the dome.
500 years.
And this was another Gulf Wars. So did we have
This was not a Gulf Wars submission?
Huh?
This was not a Gulf Wars submission.
Okay, so I need to we need to see about, because I'm not seeing a photo of the driver's license.
All right, I'll go digging. I think I got one. I may have just forgotten to put it in Dropbox.
Yeah, which is and he's in your group.
Yes, he is.
So it's going to be easy to get a hold of it. All right. Yeah, I don't see any problem there. In fact, let me do this. No, I'll do that later. Let's move on to number 12, which is a resub device. A resub device on kingdom level. Isabel Griffinclaw. Argent was in a reef of ivy leaves, vert, and an owl displayed sable. I need to check one thing on hers because nerf. Okay, yeah, because this is actually a change because she has a device, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a new device. This was actually supposed to be a change, and she is releasing her old device.
Okay.
The reason why the change was because in the original, the owl was not displayed. It was a striking effrontery, which is a charge we cannot use due to it having a three-dimensional imagery to it.
Mm-hmm.
One commenter had wished that the owl had been a little bit more upright, but he doesn't think it's going to hurt for registration purposes.
No.
I mean, does that owl look sufficiently
Displayed?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the first one, the feet were kind of tucked up, and in this one, it's clearly
Right. Now,
displayed.
isn't it a step from period practice to have
Yes.
a bird
Have
other
it
than
on-
an eagle
But
displayed?
we can still register with that. But it
we're
is
still good to go because there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the ivy wreath.
correct?
right.
All right, so and by the time and since it was returned at Kingdom, it's going to be a new submission
At Laurel, yeah.
at Laurel. So when I change it over to being a change with a release of the old, it's not going to. History's not going to play much of a factor.
No, it's not a resubmission to Laurel. It's as far as
Yeah.
Laurel's concerned, this is brand new.
And there was some worry about what was primary charge in the original discussion, but we went ahead and went with the ivy leaves being primary because it allowed us to get away from some conflicts, I believe.
Yep.
Well, and it's clearly the most visually important thing on the shield.
I
Even
agree.
though the owl's like right in the center, it's small enough that you could really
Right.
say that it's not the primary
Yeah.
charge.
I think this one's going to be tricky when it gets
Well,
up
you
there.
can't. It's hard to blazon your way out of a conflict, but they'll They'll make a call on it at Wreath.
Right.
Yeah.
At least it gets it up there to a higher level
Yeah.
from
Right.
here. All right.
Especially since this is the second time through.
Right. And the reason why she is changing is because she said that she felt like she was rushed by her when she was first made. When she did her first device, she felt like she was rushed to do it, and she feels that this better represents her. All right, so we are going to move on to a number 13.
So this is
Katarzyna of Salia, which is a resub name and resub device from Kingdom.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with the device from last time. It's just they couldn't send it up without a name. So
the name got bounced to Kingdom last time for presumption.
So but I went ahead and reconflict checked it again just to make sure that nothing
because it's
has been registered since then.
Yeah, it's been a minute because this was returned in May of 2016. So they're just making
like
their
a
year mark.
Yeah.
There's some conflict. There are some questions about the last name. Freed is wondering if it's meaning.
Now I don't know. And is this, you said this is Lithuanian? I know in Russian they quite frequently list the locatives as like daughter of the city or son of the city. So you'd have like an Ovna or something like that on the end of it, but that's not always the case. So this looks like it's anglicized.
Yeah.
Where is Salia?
It's in Lithuania.
Lithuania, yeah.
And if I remember correctly,
Lithuania.
Well,
this
Lithuanian
is
names have some of them are Polish and some of them are Russian and some of them are, I think they're right on a border area.
Yeah,
Well, they are, but they also used to control a significant amount of what is now Western Russia and Poland.
Mm-hmm.
This was a Gulf Wars item, and I believe that Sofia LaRousse was the consulting herald on this name.
Well, the name of the locative down here on previous submission was Solyevna, which again is the daughter of the city of
Right.
Formation. But she apparently changed that. I wonder why.
I wasn't sitting in on that console. I really don't know.
She moved. Because it's
Also
not easy being green.
Lithuanian is a Baltic language and not a Slavic language, so they may have some of the same naming practices as Russian, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah, I don't know.
In fact, you have for the documentation for the first name, you have both the Russian and the Lithuanian sources. You really only need the Lithuanian one because the submitter wants a Lithuanian name, not a Russian one.
Well, where she has Salia down here, it says locative surname. Salia is the name of the modern city of Siaulia. So she's using the modern spelling of the city. I wonder how modern that is.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the doc right now. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good.
If Saulia is the period spelling, then
See, I think that's the issue that we're going to be running into here, because this particular book is written in German in 1863.
oh god.
Whoops.
Yeah, I found.
So
Anno 1358 Indem Goswin Koto Exerto Castrum N Saulai.
And that's dated to the 1300s?
it's dated in the book to 1358.
But the
We-
book is
The thing that I'm worried about is that it is a standardized spelling, standardized to German in the 19th century,
Oh,
because that's when the book was written.
we might have to go with it and add the date in there and let Pelican determine, but unless we can come up with another source for the place name spelling.
Actually, no, I am wrong. This is written in Latin,
Uh-huh.
not in German. This particular passage.
I'm trying to. So, if I'm remembering this more and more, the problem that we had with the name was, I don't think we didn't have a problem with the.
We did not have a problem with the locative by name. What we had a problem with was the given name, which
was princess.
Which meant princess, which gave presumption with a locative surname.
So if we took the original spelling of Sioljevna and put it with the Katarzyna, it should work.
Right.
In theory, it should, yes.
Theory, yeah.
I'm currently trying to look, go to the.
It's in north central Lithuania now, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to use the previous by name.
I don't know why they changed it in the first place.
I'm not sure either. Because that would just basically mean Katerina of Soliev, of Solia.
Okay, everyone. Here is your link.
Okay, Google Books.
That is to her original submission.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know about the. Let's see here. Katerina, come on, baby. JK.
And that's using
it.
name construction to take the city name and construct the locative off of it.
And she's taking it from Russian.
Well, the documentation says that the city was first mentioned in 1236 as Soule, Soule.
But I think that they were saying that the spelling that was given dated back to 1589, which is late period.
But the source is Wikipedia. So who knows what the actual spelling was.
Yes, and one of the comments that Freed made, matter of fact, it's the second one that he
Mhm.
has, where he has all the documentation
Rita, yeah.
laid out there. It's the same one that he gave back when the first name came through. So he's pointing out that this is partly S with accent above it, IAULIS, which was another mark above it, KIS. It's probably closer to what it was actually was. First image is title page. Second page is first page of the article. Third image is page 86 with the masculine example of the name. And then 90 and 91, the feminine by names highlighted in the listed abbreviations used to figure out the dates of the name.
So here's my question. If we're using lingua anglica, does it have to be a period spelling of the location?
Oh,
Because that's what we're doing here, and I'm just
I
not
believe
sure.
it does. I believe it does.
Yeah, but I think it has to be in English, doesn't it?
It has to be in English, but
It has to be standardized in English. And is this the standardized form of the name of this town in English?
No. How you're going to find it in English is beyond me.
Well, the modern spelling that they're giving in their documentation is SIAULIA.
correct.
So then they're not even using the modern spelling
No.
for Anglo
Lingua.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which takes me back to my original question is, when we're using lingua anglica for a locative, what form of the spelling for that location do we need?
I don't know.
To change. All right. Now, the last part of her documentation says Lithuanian locative form presumed to exist, but on unknown construction. Submitter open to change to an authentic Lithuanian locative by name. But where we're having problems, we can't find this place in Lithuania, really.
I found in the as far as the lingua anglica, it says Sina says under lingua anglica, locative bynames use standard modern English forms rather than period spellings. So you can use that modern form of that town. That's in PN1BC.
Okay.
P2C? P2C.
All right.
So she would be of SIAULIA.
SIAULIAI is the modern spelling of the.
That is the Google Maps link for that town in Lithuania.
As long as that town definitely existed during period.
It
Then-
did, because it was mentioned in
And
the
it was-
Livonian Order
So,
document in 1236.
Well, let's change the spelling of the locative, and I guess just go with it.
Yeah, just run it by the submitter, make sure she's okay with it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I'd say yeah.
We're only talking adding the addition of 2 I's to the spelling, so it shouldn't be a problem.
2 I's and an accent. So,
Yeah.
Um,
Why don't we try that and just contact her and ask her? And
yeah, because I have to admit, getting into such a rough language, I mean, I appreciate what Frida has done here, but it's not helping me. It's more confusing.
Your brain hurt.
We're drowning in details.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll change it to what we're seeing modernly, and go from there.
Sounds good to go.
Send it up to Kingdom to Laurel to let them duke it out. All right, so number 14.
Oh, we
Lilith
still
Dub.
have to do the device.
Oh, we still have to do the device. Thank you.
I'm not letting my armored frog go undiscussed. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make it a rampant armored frog.
I don't see anything of it that gives me disgust.
there's actually nothing to talk about because they say in the return that there were no issues found with the device. So as long as there's no conflict, we're good.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if Kermit
checked it
wants
again.
to wear armor, he can wear
Which it was
armor.
about a year since it was
Awesome
up
armor
last
frog
time.
though.
Yeah.
This is the best armored frog I've seen on a device since May of 2016.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered.
Although they are, Michael Girard did suggest a reblazon. Purpale ore in origin, a frog rampant quaternary vert vested of Crusade and Chauce's sable.
Yeah.
Because he says that's not a breastplate is only the front half, it's not the full thing.
Well, we might as well be accurate.
So yeah, so it's going to get a redraw. It's going to get a reblazon. It was number 13. All right, so on to 14, Lewis Dub.
They're calling this a serpent involved.
Yes.
Michael Girard says at this link, we were told this serpent is depicted with a dragon's head, which is common in period heraldic depictions and need not be specific in blazon. And Miss Tome tells us the barb on a dragon's tail is an unnecessary 18th century artistic detail accepted as artistic license, so certainly not blazable. Therefore, blazon the submission as submitted. So a serpent can have a dragon's head.
So I have a.
Well, this is not really in annulo or involved, though, is it?
It is technically involved because it's in a spiral, but the issue I have with it is that it doesn't like it is technically a dragon's head on what may in fact be a snake's body.
Except with a barbed tail.
I mean, it just kind of looks like a dragon's tail with a head on it. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like a snake. If you look at the example that Michael Gerard gave, that I linked below, like that dragon's head on a snake still looks like a snake.
I think the head is a lot smaller.
It's not only that the head's smaller, it's that there's detailing on the belly of the snake, and there's more tail involved. I'm not sure this is enough to bounce it, but it does cause me some weirdness when I look at it.
It's like if there was more to the body,
or if the head was smaller.
Like, I don't want to bounce it just for bad drawing, but effectively it's really bad drawing.
Well, it's a bit more than that, because if you look at the example they provide, you've got a head that is basically on par with the rest of the snake. This is not. This is a much larger dragon that's been sliced off and stuck on a smaller snake.
Yeah, and the tail being pointed like that also makes me think that they intended this to be a dragon's tail, not a snake, because snakes' tails don't have the arrowhead the way dragons' tails do. And I think that might also be something that's driving me a little weird.
Yeah, there's a lot about it that's driving me weird.
The head is like way too big for the body.
This is
that would be like drawing a huge lion's head and like a little tiny lion body.
It's a full-size lion head on a dandelion body.
Yeah, I'm actually not. I feel like they intended to draw a dragon of some kind, and then came up.
Okay, I'm back. I got kicked out again. It always does that to me for some reason.
Oh. Did you hear that whole discussion then?
No, I heard. After you said something about the emblazon that you found, I lost it all.
Okay, so basically the head is probably way too big. The tail ends in that kind of arrowhead point, which is more like a dragon's tail than a snake. Overall, it gives me the weirdness. It's hard to describe. It just doesn't look right.
Would you mind taking a shot at a redraw?
I'm not that artistically good. I could try, but I think that if I redrew it, it would look significantly different from this.
Yeah, it would. If I were drawing this from the blazon, it would look nothing like this.
Yeah, I think if I was drawing it, the tail would be in the mouth.
Well, involved means in a spiral.
Yeah.
So that's okay. My thing is that to me, it looks like someone intended to draw a dragon's head attached to a dragon's tail, and then decided to blazon it as a serpent in order to try to make it go through, when in fact it's still just a dragon's head on a dragon's tail.
Right.
Or, I mean, basically all it's missing is wings, and it could technically be a wyvern.
Correct.
Right? I don't know.
I posted a link in the chat for Miss Holmes' serpents page. It shows a serpent involved, which is a period drawing. It's
thank you. I see this.
Yeah, see, if you had that serpent with a more dragony-ish head, then that would be great.
Okay, yeah. Well, I can do that then.
Because this head is like way too big.
Yeah, just.
But I would take
because with a serpent with a dragonish head would mainly be like bearded or barbed or something, but the head just would not be that large.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Unless it was a serpent that had dwarfism. But I don't think we can specifically blazon that.
Is this a Gulf War submission?
This is.
Now she already has a.
She already has a registered name, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. No,
Check with
given the fact that I have that a very good serpent involved right there from Mist Home, I can finagle one of the dragon heads on it and shrink it down to where it actually fits on that body and give her what she wants.
Well, that may be the only way.
Sent you the link for the Mist Home Dragon too, if that helps.
Yeah, I've already pulled all of his dragons off his site for my thing.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to S yet.
But that would make a world of difference.
I would definitely check with the submitter afterwards. I guess you do it anyway, because it's going to look way different than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a redraw there.
It surprises me that a serpent involved would not have Sable would not have any conflicts, but hey, you never know.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do a redraw there. Let's move on to number 15. Michael Robertson of Tierbrist. New name and new device. Michael is a given name found in a dictionary of English surnames, Rennie and Wilson. Robertson, also of Rennie and Wilson, and Tierbrist is the local name of the SCA branch that he's in. So the name is pretty well wrapped up.
Yeah, no problem with that.
So we'll go ahead and move on to the device, which is per chevron, vert and sable, a chevron in base, a bear dormant, quaternary argent.
That's one of the better bears dormant I've ever seen. You can almost tell what it is.
It's very recognizable as a bear, the way they did the interior detailing. It doesn't look like a lump of meat.
Yeah.
Alpha, it's argent.
Matter of fact, I'm even snagging this one to use for a bear dormant.
It is not meatloafing.
No.
No, it does not.
But it sure looks tasty.
So it's, we had the one I did, the wolf on a book, which turned out fabulous, and the submitter is absolutely in love with it. And now we have this bear, so we're getting some good example. We're finally getting some good examples of dormant.
Yes. Graphics, Heraldic. Yeah, I'm saving this too.
Yeah. All right. And I don't think we have any conflicts. So,
nope.
And yes, I agree with Blue Tablet. It does. It looks like a bear in its cave.
Yeah, I can't find any conflicts either.
Yeah, and the chevron looks like it's in the right position. So, which I have to admit, drawing chevrons and stuff like that, it has always confused me on where exactly it's supposed to be. I've seen some so high and I've seen some so low, and everyone complains about them. So,
but that looks right.
You want the center of mass to be on the midline.
Center of mass on the midline. Okay.
So if you imagine that there's an equal distribution of weight on this chevron, you should be able to balance it on that line effectively.
Unless it has a chief, then that would force it to go a little bit lower, correct?
Yeah, but that forces the whole center line down.
Right. Okay.
Well, it looks good.
And now that you said that, I understand drawing with the chief a little bit better, because it makes the field lower.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, style-wise, it looks good. We find no conflicts, so there's no reason why for both of these to go up. So we'll move on, and we're almost there. We're in a home stretch now, people. Nat Dwidian has a resub of their device.
Nanty Derwidden.
Or their badge.
It's Nanty Dwidian, and it's a badge.
Yeah, it's a badge. It was returned because since they had used their Marlet, for a grandfathering clause, the Marlet has to follow the original path,
Which is descending.
which is descending, and they've gone back and changed it here.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it should follow within. It follows within what they can use for the grandfather clause, and we'll send it up for.
I think you mean the
Laurel.
legacy clause.
Yes, I was going to say I have it on good authority from someone on Laurel's staff that they are changing that terminology to the legacy clause because it sounds better.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Well,
sounds
it
more.
does-
Well,
Everything PC should be strangled and left out to die.
Nobody likes legacy code.
where they're saying grandfather clause is racist, so they're
What?
changing it to
What?
legacy clause.
How's it?
Yes.
I don't know. Texas,
Racist?
Is there a race that doesn't have grandfathers? Because
Yes.
because I'm okay.
fruit
How
fly.
are they pulling that off genetically?
Ants? Maybe not ants.
Ugh,
Yes,
God.
they do actually.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to number 17. Rain Evanwood.
Mhm.
She wants the device change. She wants to retain her old device as a badge for her new device. She's looking at Azure, a wolf, rampant, and a lion. A Dorse was in a border argent.
Yay, she simplified her device.
Yes, that's basically what she's doing.
She decided that she didn't want to paint that over and over and over.
So no conflicts was found. Thankfully, was going to a something simpler. And yes, I remember when this first came through, we could not tell which animal was which.
Well, we can now.
With the redraw that she did, and continuing on here, both animals are very distinguishable as what they are.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
agreed.
So, and I have actually been trying to contact her because she is the Shire Herald for Tierbrist, and I have not been able to get her to get me back.
Hmm.
So, but we'll move on to number 8.
Cortina Marsdotter.
18.
Yes.
Not 8.
Eight. Okay,
Stop trying to
18.
go back.
I gotta go back in time. All right.
It's all wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
So
Yeah.
it's Jenna Mars' daughter.
Yeah. The submitter is with us. You can read her in chat.
Mhm.
Hi, how are you? Welcome. I hope you have enjoyed our wonderful controlled chaos. So what we're looking at here, we have no major changes. 10th Century Norris. Boasts again from Gary Bossy. I think
It
we
looks
have,
like those forms look correct.
but Frida is saying that it should not
That
should
she
not have the
It
R.
would be Mas' daughter,
Mars' daughter.
because the genitive of Mara is Mas.
So it's one of those odd ones.
Mm-hmm.
So the genitive of Nomar would be Nomas.
Oh, I'm gonna have to hurt you. Okay.
But Michael Girard is coming back, and
He just explaining it more.
yeah, he's agreeing that the R is not there. The only question that we have, and if you can answer this for us, does she or does she not want the accents? So
Just showing us the one.
uh,
The accents
No,
are
not the
optional.
daughter. My
Ops.
daughter.
okay. So you want me to go ahead and go without the accents then? Okay. Then we will go ahead and go with removing the R, and with the submitter's approval. And thank you for joining us. That really helps out a lot, and I do hope you are learning some with us. So we will go ahead and remove the R and keep it without the accents. She says we are very informative.
Oh, well, thank God.
She knows she doesn't have to flatter us, right?
You
You've
don't
been
have
watching.
Speak for yourself.
commentary on Oscar.
So we
we
let
could
me
all
make
use
that.
a little flattery from time to time.
Hold on.
Okay.
16 up. 17 up. And 18. Remove R. Moving on to number 19. We have Warwick Blackrock. New name, new device. Warwick, they found in Family Search. It is an M batch, which actually both came from Family Search. I have an M batch and a P batch. Is P batch acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
What is the one that isn't?
There's I think more than one that's actually not, and then there's only part of it that's acceptable.
I think B, C, and M are all allowed. There's I think you're right. There's one other one that's some of them are allowed, some of them aren't.
Right.
Okay, well, the William Warwick, excuse me, Warwick looks fine, and
the question I have about Blackrock is the date. It's 1684. Now, I believe gray period is only 50 years, correct?
That is correct.
1650.
So this is out of gray period,
Correct.
which we do talk about in here.
I posted a link in the chat for the actual guidance from about using Family Search and which batches are and are not acceptable. So if anybody's interested, it's
I think
Okay.
what they were the straw that they were reaching for in the BlackRock documentation is the citation is for the father of the christened child, child who was christened in 1684. I don't think that straw is going to work.
No, because the reason they give 50 years is because of having someone that may have had a name that was used in period before 1600. So this guy would have to be 84 years old in order for that to be the case. And I didn't find any other BlackRocks in family name search. So if it was being used, you would think there would be more records.
Right.
I found a bunch of Blacklocks, but no BlackRocks.
Now they tried. One person tried, but unless that's a typo, which I'm going to check to make sure that is. It is a typo. Oh, thank goodness.
The 1952.
Yes. It's 1592.
Okay.
So, yeah. So they transposed the so we have a black and rock with B and C batches, and since it is English, we could do a double by name. Correct?
Yes.
We could.
The only problem is, though, it would be two separate names and not one name as they have listed.
But it'd still be pronounced the same.
So it'd still be pronounced as Black Rock.
Yeah.
And it would still have the same meaning of Black Rock, whether it's one word or two. So I would suggest proposing that to the client and to the submitter and see if they're okay with that. I think he will be. I don't want to speak for him on that, but I think he'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact, you can say, hey, listen, you still will have this name, it just won't be one word.
Let's see what I can find here. Blackmore, Blackstock, Blackstone. If you could have a black stone, why couldn't you have a black rock?
Was rock the word that was used instead of stone?
I don't know. I was thinking.
So you might want to ask him if he wants Blackstone instead.
Because Blackrock's the name he's looking for, and Blackstone is very clearly in Rennie and Wilson in a number of different forms. So I would think that if Blackstone could be a surname, Blackrock should be.
What
It would be plausible that it would be a plausible English formation.
Okay.
But if you want the citation on Rennie and Wilson, it's
yes, please.
Okay. It's Rennie and Wilson, English names and surnames, page 47, under the header of Blackstone, Blackston.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Without the E, and the second citation is Blackstone. And there are several different spellings of it. But it says Old English Blackstone, meaning black stone.
And that was what page?
This is page 47, and it originally meant William de Blackstone, 1316, meant the dweller by the black stone.
And the header name was spelled how? BL.
The first one. There's 6 different different headers here. They're all in boldface. Blackston and BlackstonE and Blackiston, and then there's Blakeston without an E, Blakiston and Blackston. So there's a variety of all of them, but it originally came from the Old English Blackstan, black stone. So I'm thinking that hypothetically, if somebody's name came because they were a dweller by a black stone, they could just as easily be a dweller by a black rock.
Okay.
And rock is from Middle English, so it would have been in use in period.
Yes. So we're talking about a hypothetical formation,
right?
But
I'll submit that. I'll submit Blackstone also to the submitter, and say, hey, we can either do it as a double by name, or we have documentation for a black stone as one word.
Would you like some dates on that?
Yes, please. Okay,
we have Blackstan in 1086.
All right, so that's the AN and
we have we have the same spelling, Blackstan 1235 through 42. Okay, hold on. We have William de Blackston, 1316.
Is that STON?
No, that's still AN. Let's see at Blackstone's. It doesn't actually have a date in Rainey and Wilson for Blackstone or Blacks, but they're all the dated forms are AN,
And I wouldn't
which
use
are much closer to the Old English. The Old English form just doesn't have the K.
that one that's 10 whatever because the first name is 1629, so it'll be
Right.
more than 500
Okay,
years.
I've got another one here. Philip Atta Blackston. And that one's PHILIP and then ATTEBLAKESTON 1275.
Okay.
So that one has an O in it. But anyway, so I'm just thinking hypothetically that should be a reasonable formation. Let's see what BL. Let's see if I can find it anywhere else.
I'm looking in family search for Blackstone.
There's Blackwell, Blackmore, Blacksley, Blacksmith.
That link there is for an article by Sarah Ockelman, by names in the Middle English Dictionary with Blackstone, dated to 1296.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bardsley,
That's within 500.
Bardsley also has a number of citations for Blackstone. Let's see if I can find William Blackstone, Blackkston, is dated to, well, it says resident of New England, 1675. That's too late. See what else I can find here, Blackstone.
Well,
There's a Blackston 1273. Blackston Blaxton 1539. Black Ston 1579. That sounds more promising.
I have a whole bunch of Blackstones in family search in the 1590s.
So,
okay.
so that's an option for him, definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'll
yeah,
put
'cause
that in the chat.
Blackstone sounds like it would be a predominant English name. You know, it would be everywhere.
Well, Black Rock should be theoretically possible too.
So I put the family search link in the chat for all the results that I found for Blackstone in the 1500s.
So unless he just specifically wants Black Rock,
Right.
and
Well, we
still
can use the
might be able
Blackstone
to support
Yeah, we
Black Rock.
1590s to justify Black Rock because stone and rock mean the same thing.
I believe so.
So we could,
probably
use that particular name element.
It would probably be a stronger argument if we could find a name with rock in it, a constructed name.
God, that's gonna be harder to look up though.
I've got options to go to the submitter with and everything, and I think that we can do something with it. Rain, I saw that you joined us. I will, if possible, I would like to speak with you after we're done with the meeting here. So our last one, Isabel DeAnge, and yes, Jock, I know I'm still saying it wrong.
Have we done the device yet?
No, we didn't do the device. I'm sorry. Thank you. It's getting on that time, and my brain's starting to slow down.
Right past that armory, aren't you?
All the armory is accepted tonight.
Okay.
It's because it's another one that I'm the consulting herald on.
Thank y'all for
skipping over all of my stuff.
Well, he said you did it, so he knows it's good. That's
yeah. All right, so what we have for armory here is quarterly ghouls and sable, 3 chevron elves, or an indexter chief, and equal armed Celtic cross. The main discussions that they had was this device is one, is the drawing technically an equal armed Celtic cross, and two, being that it is in Dexter Chief, is it a augmentation of arms? That has been the two things that was argued.
It is absolutely not an augmentation.
No.
Augmentations are on a canton, not in canton.
Yep.
Right.
So
Yes.
right
Not
out.
to mention that they vary from kingdom to kingdom and everything. No, it could be drawn a little bit larger and a little bit lower, but it's not an augmentation.
And on the redraw that I did further down the page, I did make it bigger.
Oh yeah,
the redraw looks good.
and that's much better.
And I had to add the little bits on the end because as it was originally submitted, that Celtic cross is not allowed for armory
At all.
at all, according to
Yes,
Missile.
it looks like
Correct.
scopes.
Yeah, it looks like crosshairs.
Michael Girard gave a little bit of a reblazon, quarterly, gules and sable, 3 chevron L's or, and in a Dexter Chief, an equal arm Celtic cross, potent argent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, the chevron L's look like they're equally distributed. I think seeing the redraw that all the things that people were worried about have been pretty well taken care of.
I think
So up with the redraw and the reblazon.
Yep.
That device we had a lot of discussions about at Gulf Wars, mostly on whether it was a DC or an SC for 2 versus 3 chevronels.
Absolutely.
What was that?
It's an SC, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a number.
So I'll file that away. Thank you very much.
I had the same question come up when my device went through whether it was a SC from a single bend, and it's an SC.
But we weren't. I wasn't sure if going from 2 chevronels to 3 chevronels was an SC or not.
I would think it would be a DC difference in number.
Yeah, that's what I was arguing.
When you change the number of the primary charge, though, you get an SC.
Okay.
Like 2 lines is an SC from 1 line, and 3 lines an SC from 2 lines.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, we'll go up with the redraw and the reblazon, and we'll let Laurel look at it. So we'll move on to number 20, which is again Isabel Deange. New name, new device. The submitter is wanting a French language. This submitter has had a rough history trying to get this name, so I am glad that, particularly the locative, and I'm happy to see that we have found something finally for her. Because even I took a stab at it, and I could not get it.
I was surprised with how easily I was able to actually put this documentation together.
Well, I've never even heard or seen the documentation that we have here.
Marcel is your friend.
Well,
I put a link.
Well, this is fairly recent. We're talking about Ari has written it in 2014. Well, okay, it's 3 years old now, but
I put a link in the comments with the link for the by name documentation. By the way,
you put it where?
In the comments in Oscar.
yeah, he's
Oh,
got
and
a link down here to the.
Oh, and Oscar. Okay, I was looking in the group chat.
Oh yeah, it's already in Oscar.
All right, thank you, Lucian. So, no, again, you know,
Okay, it's now in group chat.
Yay,
Uh,
group chat.
Yay!
yeah, no. So, Ulrich, are you saying that you helped with this one?
Yes, this the name on this submission is my consult.
Thank you,
Cool.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, she came to me on Saturday at Gulf Wars, suddenly needing a name.
I don't mean to cut you off. This is actually my wife's device, and things we've been working on for several years. But yes, he was wonderful and helped us find the pieces we could not get together.
Yeah, like I said, I had never seen this this one right here. So, but then again, back when I was looking for your name, I didn't know about Marcellus. Now I know about Marcellus.
Marcellus is your friend.
Yes,
Yes, it
put all
is.
over this.
So I'm going to pop this to look, because I'm interested what she has to say about it. But yeah, I mean, given the documentations, I think we finally have it. So the name should be good.
And as I mentioned when I put the link in the comments, the by name is on page 7 in the documentation. In case you're looking for it right now.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now because I want to.
Page 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on page 7 now. Mm-hmm. There. Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice. $12.92. Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, given that this name is finally here, yes, let's send the name up. Now let's talk about the device. Which is as soon as I can get back to Oscar. We have a device of, stop doing that, Ermine on a Fess Azure 2-winged hound, Sagent Adorse Argent.
Well, they're clearly hounds.
Clearly winged.
Yes.
Yep.
And they're clearly adorsed.
Yes, clearly adorsed. So you can recognize the ermine. So
Yes.
the Fess is a hair bit high, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Not for the amount that it is.
No.
So let's send the device up.
Good to go. That actually does it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we did
Yeah,
We made
Huzzah.
it.
in just 2.5 hours.
we survived.
So we are getting better, and we're doing good on staying on track. I've had several staff Beacon staff members that have said that that this is staying on track better, and we're getting things done more on a timely basis. I mean, because 20 items in a 2.5 period, that's pretty good.
Well, especially since we had.
Well, yeah, 29 items, 20 submissions. Yeah.
Well, especially since we had some that were a little bit problematical.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to spend a little bit of time on some of those.
So congratulate yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We did a fine job, and this concludes Gulf Wars, I believe. Correct, Ulrich?
I think I still have one, maybe two, but yeah, this is by and large all of Gulf Wars.
Good.
So congratulations. So we're doing well on getting the Gulf Wars out.
Just in time for Artsy Crown.
Just in time for art. Like I said, this is why I want to have that discussion with you later at Artsy Crown. So I am going to say good night to everyone out there on the interwebs. Come back and see us at the end of June and see what we have in store for you there. Good night and so long.